Guess that's okay. Let me just get myself situated here. Lots to talk about. I do hold back a lot, and I'm getting to a point in my journey where holding some stuff in just doesn't feel right anymore. So I may share a little bit more with you all some of the insights and things that I've witnessed. I can really only speak from experience as well as from channeled information that I get, that I trust. Sorry. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing out there? Enjoying your journey so far? We're going to get into a reading. I pulled out my Starman Tarot. This was created for David Bowie. It's been weird. Yeah. It has been. And this month of March is it's a very pivotal turning point for many of us. So the energy is very it's like getting on an airplane and there's turbulence. And you know when you're going to have a little bit of a rocky ride, the pilot's like, fasten your seatbelts. Hi, Martin. Hi, Finding Joy. Yeah. So I actually had some of my energy restored. Honestly, for the last 2 weeks, I just was swimming in deep exhaustion, so tired. I had a lot of things going on in my life as well, which contributed to that, but it just didn't make sense how freaking tired I've been. So when I woke up this morning, I still felt like I didn't really want to wake up, but like all the way. I was really comfortable in my bed. I actually forced myself up and drank 2 cups of coffee, which is so not me or part of my morning routine. But it helped. It helped kind of jolt me started. And I don't recommend this for anybody who's like trying to cut back on caffeine, but I needed it. And then my day got going. It was a very beautiful, sunny, warm day here where I live today. So I was actually given a really nice 3-hour break between some of the work that I had to do. So I went out to the lake by my house and just laid down in the ground in the sun for a good hour. You can probably kind of see, and meditated on some of the information that I've been given based off of experiences that I've had, based off of things that I've witnessed and seen firsthand in my life, and then was given deeper information as to, my questions as to why. And I don't want to seem so cryptic, but I want to talk about, and if you notice the thumbnail that I used, it is about mind control. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but I want to at least touch on what I want to talk about, so that maybe it helps make our journey of awakening seem make more sense. So as we all know, or maybe not, but most of you who listen to me are aware that the energy, the frequency on the planet, within the human body, as well as the frequency of the planet herself, is continuing to rise. This has been going on ever since the harmonic convergence back in the late 80s, 1980s. And I remember this. I remember that period of time, and so does my mom, quite drastically. Could feel and sense that energy. So what happened when the Earth's frequency suddenly popped into a new frequency or density was, gosh, how do I even put it all into words? It opened up the fifth dimensional grid. Is that right? It opened up a window. Now, what I want to talk about, what I want to talk about are the energies, the entities. Some call reptilian, and I guess I will just call them reptilian. There are many different varieties and species of interdimensional entities that exist. Many of them have the ability to change their frequencies so that we can see them and then we cannot see them. They have certain abilities. However, they don't have the ability to, they don't possess a soul, and they don't possess the life force energy that we possess, we human beings. So they've found ways to infiltrate the human species. They did this thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, but and it really took the species down. It took humanity all the way down. And it was probably around the 1930s and 40s, maybe 1920s to 1940. See, time and space in interdimensional area is, they don't have the linear time that we have. So when energetics are being worked on in the quantum, it's instantaneous, but it takes hundreds of thousands of years here on Earth. But anyway, an energetic shift had happened to assist Earth in bringing up her frequency to a certain quotient. And she met that quotient of light during the harmonic convergence. Hello, Karen. Anyway, how does this affect us now? There are not, the percentage of the actual entities I'm speaking of are very, very small. However, they have had the ability to enter into certain human bodies energetically and infiltrate the mind. And most of those human bodies that they have infiltrated are those, because these beings are very intelligent, and they love to play with the human mind. So they are aware that the human mind can be very easily controlled and manipulated, especially through tactics of fear. So they infiltrate the human bodies of people in extreme power, and usually that extreme power is of money and power, and then it goes from top down. So they're able to control the minds of a couple hundred, a couple thousand, a couple million. It has ripple affected out to basically all of humanity, with the exception of a small few light beings who have also been brought onto Earth over the last thousands of years to assist in humanity's frequency elevation and consciousness, awareness, awakening. So the more and more of us who awaken to the truth of the mind control, the truth of the fear and the power over, that we kind of go through stages, usually kind of starts off with, I don't give a shit anymore about anything. That's sort of like our teenager attitude in the beginning of the awakening stage, but it always helps. Um, but ultimately, these beings, these entities, they have, in one sense, one way or the other, have affected all of us to a certain degree, and through our ancestral lineage of our beliefs, which is why I'm always talking about beliefs and parts and consciousness. Um, Basically, you want to check your mind. Is your mind being controlled? Are your thoughts taking over you? Is there some form of fear that has been controlling you? You may have some residual or leftover reptilian energy that has infiltrated you. Not saying you have reptilian energy in you, but it is this form of mind control that yeah, saving souls. Yes, it's this form of mind control that is really their only source of power now. It used to be different. It used to be way different, thousands and thousands of years ago. But that has been taken care of. The only thing is that when these beings had actually infiltrated human bodies, certain human bodies, that is a little more difficult for the universe to sort of zap, because it would actually kill the human, and there is free will. There are universal laws that keep certain things in play, which this is why we have these the duality, and there's so much. And take it as you will. I'm not telling you anything to believe or trust in. I'm just telling you from my experiences and from what I have been, the information that has been given to me throughout my lifetime. I am able to see these energies, these entities, and even more so now, recently, my ability to actually see the human aura and other things that most others don't see has really gotten very strong. We vibrate different when in fear. Yes, and so that's when we're in fear, we're easily controlled and manipulated, and that's what these entities, I'm going to just call them entities, but it's reptilians. I mean, you can look it up. So many people talk about reptilian energies, and there's many different species, and there's so many different intergalactic beings, fourth dimensional beings. They exist. They really do. But we don't have to worry so much. And I'm not saying any of this for fear. I'm actually, I want to help liberate people from feeling like you did something wrong in your past, feeling like, because there's a lot of, especially in the Pisces energy, we're going through another big tunnel of grief, a grief process, but there's still a lot of guilt and shame that has been come up for a lot of awakened souls that are still sort of wondering, did I do something? What we carry with us is can be detrimental to our health. It can be detrimental to our happiness, which is really important when we vibration. When we are in the vibration of happiness or peace, it doesn't even have to be love. Love is the ultimate. Love is the highest on the spectrum, but peace, happiness, harmony. Nothing can touch you. Nothing can harm you. And I will say that, yes, these entities, these energies do exist in all forms of power and control dynamics, pretty much. Anything that has power over. And we'll just leave it at that. And you can fill in the blanks for yourself. And there are people who have specific, very strong belief systems that have been instilled in them, that they are still carrying this energy, this reptilian energy. Not that they are reptilians. I'm not saying people look around and there's reptilians everywhere. No, that's actually not true at all. There's a very small percentage of human beings that actually have partial reptilian to them, and we're never even going to see their faces or their names. They are so hidden behind the scenes, but they do have all the money, all the power, all of the everything. So everybody's always talking about, like, the president of the United States, he's just a puppet, like there are people behind. Yes, of course, they know how to play the game. So we need to learn how to play the game as well, with love, with our sovereignty, with our freedom. So when your mind is free, when you're not able to be controlled and manipulated anymore, you've won the game. They are not going to have any effect. And that actually helps diminish the energy of this reptilian energy. The more and more and more of us who can really hold true to our existence, our power, our light, our heart, our happiness, our peace, the better. And this actually also will cause a ripple effect in the energetics of the planet itself. I've witnessed and seen with my very eyes and my very experiences, I have the ability to see people's souls, people at their very basic core level, almost as if they are in their infantile state. When I'm met with another human that needs my assistance, their character actually reverts back to childhood, and they have this childlike curiosity and wonder about, and I get to really interact with their soul. And I can see the light. I can see the light in their eye. I can see the light, the color in their aura. Hello, Darren. And what is interesting to me is that eventually doesn't take very much time. Something will shift, and another aspect of them will present itself to me. And it's usually an aspect that wants to manipulate me or have some form of power or control over me. And the way, not only I can sense it, you can feel that energy, and you can feel the energy, because reptilian energy is draining. It will really suck the energy. It will suck the energy out of you. You feel suddenly like blocked, tired. Your eyes are blurry. You're just like, what? Like, get me away from this person, because it feels so yucky. But the telltale sign of how you can tell if they are carrying a certain entity or energy, reptilian energy in them still, which has infiltrated the actual human body, not the soul, but the ego, is the eyes. You will see blatantly the color of the eyes change. The eyes will get darker. They will even somewhat change shape. It's very odd and bizarre. And this is how I see it anyway. This is the visual that I get when I'm presented with somebody with this, yes, the black dead eye, yeah. And the tone of their voice will change, their demeanor changes. And when I don't give them what they want, which is a piece of me or some of my energy, they get very nasty and angry and lash out and try their last bit of trying to control or have me succumb or surrender. And I find it comical. It used to creep me out. It used to freak me out when I was younger, and I would just run and stay away from these people. But oh, their tongues get weird. That's interesting. I never noticed that. But yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. And it's not the actual human. There's an entity attachment. There is an energetic infiltration there. And I do believe that these energetics that we're going through now have been for the last couple of years. I feel like, especially with the sun, are definitely designed to naturally fade away that reptilian entity energy within the human species. And it's going to take some time. It will take some time. The time in the quantum is like that, but the time down here on Earth is very slow and dense. Not to say that, people can't have a turnaround. And I think about when I had an entity attachment, when I had reptilian energy take over me. I wasn't myself. There was, and you also know how you get taken over. Usually there's a persuasion with either giving you a form of power or money or status. It's an exchange. Some people fall for this easier than others, and it's, that saying, I sold my soul to the devil. Well, you're not really selling your soul, but you're making a contract with an entity that is you're telling the entity, I'm going to let you control me, and you're going to give me what I want and I desire. And you can see that playing out all over the world right now, especially with celebrities. But it goes down to the nitty gritty, like us regular average day folks here. I heard the term walk-ins, which sounds right. An evil soul walking in during the astral. Yeah, walk-ins. I mean, that people have described walk-ins as two different ways. Either, and I fully believe that that's how I would see a walk-in. The other easy way for an energy entity to infiltrate you is through alcohol consumption and use of certain drugs. Anything that has it reduces your faculties. Also, television, obviously, the internet, all those mesmerizing ways of getting people hooked in line and sinker into, you can be this and you can look like this and you can do this, and it brings this desire and it's mesmerizing, and people just fall for it and really fall down into a rabbit hole themselves. The thing is, when you make a contract, or when you fall for or allow to be manipulated by this controlling type of entity, they are taking your life force energy. They're getting high off of our light and our energy, and we begin to feel worse and worse and worse as humans. So many people don't stay in that contract for very long. If they do, they do have, see, the other thing is these entities know your vulnerabilities and your weaknesses, your childhood wounds. This is another reason why we're like clearing our childhood wounds and stuff, because if you have a weakness, if you have a vulnerability, if you have a trigger, you're much easier to manipulate as well. Give you what you desire. You're going to feel better. But you end up not feeling better at all. It actually takes you down to hell, basically, until you release yourself from that. And I think that's truly like when we have our awakening, we awaken out of the hypnosis, the illusion, the Maya, the Mara, whatever you want to call it. We awaken out of that and we're like, what the hell was I doing? Why did I believe that? All of those things. So, and higher off of our misery. Yes. Hi, Chelsea. Finally caught alive. Martin says, loosh. Yeah, it's, so many people are still, you can see it too. If you witness certain people that are really fighting for their freedom, their consciousness is expanding and elevating, so they're becoming more aware and self-aware, which is really important, to know yourself and be self-aware. But there's still there are these fear-based attachments that can pull you back down that old road. I don't see it. I see it accelerating, the awakening and the expansion more and more and more for people. So that is the good thing. And for all of us, we can just constantly check with ourselves. How are you in your mind? Are you free in your mind? you know? That's why it's so important to stay high vibrating. Yes, it's definitely a quickening. Absolutely. And that word has been used several times this week. I have heard it, this quickening. And it is, it's, it's happening. It's happening. Now, I also want to talk about, because spiritual communities are not immune to this. There is such a thing as a spiritual ego. So these entities, they are smart. They are so super smart, and they know where to get you in your weakest spot. So even people who are going through awakening, or they're finding their gifts and things, if there's still another aspect to them, to their ego, that wants to have power and control. That's a very powerful and powerful thing, to be able to read somebody. It is a gift, and these gifts will actually get taken away eventually to those who misuse them. They will, people are going to be able to see through that too. I can see through it very clearly, and it actually still has, like, I get a little angry sometimes, but I can also see their innocence and their soul, and that there's just an aspect in them that wants to still be in control or have power over in some way, shape, or form, or be recognized, for having all these gifts. And that can really can cause some problems for sure. So, Mona, infiltrations in all of the communities. Moana, many. And we just have to be aware, that it is widespread, but it is not like what it was thousands and thousands of years ago. It's not even like what it was, and there is war going on now, but I don't see world war. Hopefully it's not going to come to that, because so many people are awakening to the ridiculousness of a lot of the so-called powers that be or were. It's really easy to see through all of that now. That's their only form of power, is manipulating humanity's mind. So we're awakening in consciousness and seeing this mind control. It's very interesting to watch how humanity is responding or not responding. Like, they're responding like, what the hell? But is anybody actually doing anything about it yet? Not yet. This is going to be an interesting year for sure to watch. I'm not sure what would be done, but I'm sure that eventually there's going to be rebellion of some sort, or revolution of some sort. And hopefully that comes from a more heart-centered place than from the anger. But anger is the very first reaction that we all have when we awaken to the truth. It's natural. So let's get some cards. Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys, too, because, okay, let's see. All right, we're going to touch on AI as well. So that's the next phase. That's the next tactic that these entities are going for. And they've infiltrated the minds of humanity in the past to develop nuclear weapons, atomic bombs, all kinds of things that are detrimental to the planet and to humanity. And yeah, it's Mars, yeah. And we have Mars squaring Uranus right now, too. It's going to be an interesting weekend. Where was I? AI. So it's important to understand that each person who had the download or the information seeded into them to invent or create certain life-changing, world-changing things such as nuclear weapons or AI, they actually, when they come back to their humanness, regret it. Regret it. So that you can tell right now there's an infiltration there for these things to be actually created. But it's too late, it's here. So here's how we change our relationship to AI. Don't fear it. Do not act as if it is a servant to you, because this is actually consciousness as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how much of humanity actually does fall for the mesmerizing control tactics linked to AI. We can already kind of see how hypnotized humans get when it comes to AI. But when I'm talking like down the road, it's going to get interesting down the road. The VR world discernment. Yes, yes. So I feel, because I know that everything that we are touching, experiencing here on earth has some form of consciousness, and so that the more we can develop, we're still working on developing relationships with other humans, but we have to work on developing a healthy relationship to technology as well, and know our boundaries and limits as a human being. Spend more time in nature too, because Mother Nature is going to give you the medicine you need when you need it. Always, 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 always. Like I said, I spent a good hour just laying on the ground in the sun by the lake, and it just, it lit me up like a Christmas tree. I felt so much better. All of this foggy, groggy weirdness that I was feeling just went away, and I started to feel like a normal person again. So I do have to practice what I preach as well. And thank you for the magic tricks. Don't fall for the tricks. There's a lot of tricky energy going on right now. A lot. In the whole month of March, I do see that some of the trickster energy, thank you. Some of the trickster energy is really designed to help us snap out of some old patterns. But others, like triggering the ego, especially the spiritual ego. So the more self-aware you are, and the more humbled, humility comes to mind, grace, being humble, and no phone AI. It's an interesting dynamic, but this is why we signed up to come in here, because we've been on this planet before when the reptilian energies were there were a lot more of them, and they were wreaking havoc, and we have been infiltrated and manipulated and stifled so much. And when we go back up to non-physical, we're like, damn it, I let them get me again, let me do it again. And we come back here again, and we go through the whole amnesia. Nowadays though, I think that's even ending, because we go through this period of like amnesia. I don't know why I'm here and what's going on. I don't remember past lives, stuff like that. But I have to tell you, I have a grandson who's 2 years old, and this child is smart. He sees, he's from another god. Like, I can't wait to have more dialogue with him when he actually forms more words. But I don't even need to, because the telepathy is insane. It's wild. I love it. Children nowadays are so tapped in, and they're They're just another breed, and their vibration is higher. They're born with a higher vibration. So no wonder, you know. People just need to work on having healthier relationship with self. Yeah, well, that's definitely, because if you don't, you're going to get manipulated. Something will manipulate. Like, I even had to check with myself today, because I get these weird sensations, and these, we're in this cocoon phase, this void right now, and it doesn't feel comfortable all the time. I really should like relax a lot more into it, but still there's like this underlying, like, something's about to happen and I don't know what, but I wish it would just happen, because that anticipation. um oh, where was I going? I just totally lost where I was going with that. But just the vibration alone. Oh, the relationship. I had to ask, and I even pulled cards and everything this morning. I'm like, is there any leftover infiltration still left in me? I know that I have a tendency to get, and this is passed down from my parents too, get nervous or worried when it comes to like, it's tax season here, and I hate that, like that, like finances and money and stuff like that. There's a part of me that like gets all in a weird place, a weird space, and I just breathe through it, because every year it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But I'm like, I don't want any of these energies or entities to control me anymore. Like, I don't even want to have that worry. I don't want to be I want to be responsible, but I don't want to like spend my life worrying about that kind of stuff. There's a mission here. There's a reason why I'm here, and that's exactly what I got. Like, you really need to stop worrying. No, you don't have an entity, but you need to stop worrying. I'm glad that oh, that's interesting. The likes went down. Somebody mentioned that to me the other day in one of my readings, that they clicked the like button and they watched the likes go down. And I just saw that happen. So that's interesting. And things like that, little things like that, I have to like not let them bother me, but they are like aggravating. Like, how hard is it? I do know that technology has been playing a lot of games, though. I was helping my brother-in-law with some of his stuff on his computer earlier today. And I was just like, man, this technology is really throwing us for a loop right now, big time. I completely ignore ledgers. I do too, pretty much, until I'm forced to like look at them and like, hand in my information and all that stuff. Observe, don't absorb. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But I know that I am very human, then very sensitive, and I also feel, though, that I'm getting stronger and stronger in my, I think my energy alone is getting stronger as far as being courageous and fearless. And yeah, there's still like little worries here and there, but I'm not driven by anxiety. My actions are not fear-based at all. Actually, when there's fear or worry, anxiety, I don't do anything until I get in touch with what that is and why is that there, I have not read these cards in a very long time, so I did get the book out. I just tap in here. But yeah, so we have to understand that there are opposing forces or entities, energies on the planet that, they are here too, and we don't have to give them any of our energy. Don't give them power. witness, right? Observe, don't absorb. Um, it's like exhuming a grave, don't do it. And the only thing that really breaks my heart is that there have been people that I have met along the way that I really felt a deep, heartfelt connection to. That unfortunately, I also was seeing the energy that was controlling them. And in my past, I really tried to help them, and that they pulled me into their energy. So I learned a lesson that way, for sure. A hard lesson, but it's like it's a shame because you think that there's more enlightened, awakened beings on this planet. A lot of people like to portray like they are, but when push comes to shove, um there's not a whole lot of us that are like, I eat, breathe, and live consciously every single, like, just what's the message, what's going on, sending love out, just all of that. um Darren says, if they can't do it, so can we. If they can do it, so can we. That's why your phone gets fucked with, of course. If you say anything, you get called mad. Yeah, sick of it, to be honest. Not mad. Everything smart is scanning, listening. I go with breaking pattern consistently. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And if you get angry, but don't let that take you. You know what I mean? That's the our power lies in our emotions. So we must feel our emotions and honor our emotions. But it is like, what do we do with that? Do we take that and run, or do we, put it into perspective and get smarter than what we're working with? That's a little saying that used to be told to me my whole life growing up. You got to be smarter than what you're working with. And I'm like, okay. I express through music loud. So do I. And that is the best. I actually had a whole vision of having like a healing session for people. This was way back in the day. I really wanted to help people through getting acclimated out of rehab, because I don't believe in the 12-step program is very helpful for many people. And anyway, I had this whole vision of using music, especially certain music that helps you get the anger out or helps you get the sadness out. I mean, these are good tools to use for sure. Express it better. Yes. Yes, for sure. How do you best unblock a stuck emotion? Yes, dance and sing. I drive with my music up high to feel the beats. Of course, be smarter, but what are the lessons supposed to mean when people are just telling lies? Fuck the music for the moment. It's not always a lesson, Darren. Sometimes it's time to walk away. Seriously. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you that. Most things in life we always get wisdom. I think we'll use it wisdom instead of lessons. Like, yes, we are in earth school and class and blah, blah, blah. But now we're getting wiser. It's time to, like, we don't need to keep checking ourselves for, am I healed, and what am I learning? Sometimes you got to be very discerning and feel, how do you feel, how does it make you feel? And if it does not make you feel good, then walk away. It's time to walk away. You matter. Your peace and inner peace and harmony and your vibration, all of that is what matters. And yeah, sit with it for sure. But somebody asked a question, how do you best unblock a stuck emotion? So what makes you feel like you have a stuck emotion? That would be my first question. Why do you think it's stuck? Are you feeling it, but it's not fully expressing itself? Or are you having physical symptoms? Or, because that's kind of a loaded question, but not. Like, if I recognize the blockage, then what? So if you recognize, and I understand this because you may be like me, especially in the past. I had to be strong my whole life. So I wasn't really, I had conditioned myself not to show my emotions and not to cry and to be strong and straighten up, buck up, and all that. And, all of my life. So when all the big emotions came up, you keep trying to like do everything you can to bypass them. You really, once you recognize it, there's a couple ways. Let me sit with that question though. So you know what the emotion is. So if the emotion is deep sorrow or grief, I like to sit with myself and have the memory or the vision come back up and really sit with it and feel it. And what I personally do, is I start talking out loud. And I start talking out loud to my guides about it. And usually it goes something like, and that's not fair, I just don't understand. And like, I just let my inner child out and express whatever the child within who wasn't allowed to express the feelings at that time, full reign to say, express, whatever. And if you're not comfortable talking, write it out, get it out in some form, and you'll start to see that the energy starts to flow, the emotion starts to flow harder and harder and harder. You can even use certain music to help bring it out if there's certain things that trigger that emotion in you deeper. And also ask for support. Help me release this. I'm going to say one thing, and I never do this, so please take this with a grain of salt. I am not condoning this as a medicinal practice, but it has worked for me before, Chelsea. I'm just speaking to you. And don't do this if you don't feel comfortable. In my past, I don't do this now, but in my past, when I really wanted to unstuck a blocked emotion, I would have like a glass of wine or something to really um, relax and let go of those faculties that are holding on and being really strong. And that really brings it out really strong. Alone, nobody around. Unless you have a very supportive person that can help you or guide you through those strong emotions. Stuck emotions hurt the person that gave it to you. Darren, exactly. I've conditioned myself not to feel the big emotions, especially grief. Yep. Darren, it's going to be tougher to remain high vibration in the city. Oh, yeah, the city. Get yourself out into the country as much as you can. Grief stays forever. That's praying. That's wild. Lately, I've been talking out loud to my guides. Yes, you're welcome. Problem is with that is if I say what I feel, I get in trouble for it. Not to anybody, to yourself, to the universe. Go talk to the moon, talk to the stars, talk to Mother Nature from your inner child. Let that inner child out. Have a temper tantrum. Be safe about it, but have a temper tantrum. Seriously. Nobody's holding it against you. Actually, the universe wants you to do that. Your inner child is screaming to come out. Let me out. I have been trapped in here, not able to express or say anything. All right, let's get into the reading. Thank you guys for all this dialogue. Reading for the collective, please. Current energies. This is Mars squaring Uranus, and then we got Mercury in the mix. It's volatile energy, eruptive, and so be mindful of that. Mercury in the mix, people are going to say what they want to say. They're going to talk, people are going to stick their foot in their mouth this weekend for sure. Yeah, this weekend's energy is whoo. And then we have this new moon in Pisces coming up on Sunday or wherever you are. I don't know the times, which opens up the window, the energy for the eclipses. So the first eclipse on the 25th is a lunar eclipse on the South Node in Libra. So we're pulling in our past gunk, going through it all. What needs to go? What needs to go? Beliefs, attitudes, anything that can keep us from raising our frequency, our vibration, becoming more in harmony with life, with the earth. Anything that may leave us open to being infiltrated by these reptilian energies, manipulated in any way, shape, or form. So it's going to be interesting, but it's also going to be relieving too. So there's going to be a lot of people saying goodbye to relationships, family even, karmic relationships, Libra, South Node. And yeah, so that's that. Okay. I love the artwork on these cards too. We have the 10 of Wands. Look at that. That is like, stick a fork in me. I am done. I am done. I am done. I am done. Overly exhausted, burnt out, can't take this anymore. I am done. I'll read it from the book too. That's my interpretation. I've been stabbed in the back so many times. He's got this. Oh, wait, okay. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This deck we do reversals. 2 of Wands. Ooh. Very interesting noise that just went on in my ear. King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Well, I am done with, and we're again going to read it from the book, but I'm going to give you my interpretation. I am done with not being able to manifest the life that I deserve. Not having all that I have worked hard for. All that I have put my time, my focus, my energy, my life into. I'm done having it be taken away from me. I am done playing the stupid mind games. And then we have the 2 of Wands. I'm ready to see what else is available. All wands, all this fire. This is Mars energy for sure. I'm ready to see, you know, I think I'm ready to see what's next, what's available. I've been playing in this matrix for too long. I want out. And if you haven't watched the movie The Matrix, you should, because that is more of like a documentary than a movie. King of Wands, King of Pentacles in reverse. I want to be in control of my finances. I want to be in control of my stability, my safety, my groundedness. I'm tired of giving my power away. I want my 10 of Pentacles. That's right. Let's pull some words from the book. 10 of Wands, because this is very, I love this deck. There's so much going on in this deck. I'm tired of giving. Here we go. Let's see. So ultimately, it says, lighten your load and admire the beauty surrounding you. Determination to see the situation through to the very end. The 10 of Wands invites you to cherish moments of beauty and wonderment, precious and delicate as a flower growing in the desert. Put down your burdens for a moment and just marvel in the miracle of it all. Life is made up of small moments. We must carry on what needs to be done, for the Mother Tree has work for us to do. The Mother Earth has work for us to do. Put down your burdens. Look at the beauty in life and stop looking at all the ugliness, the insanity, the madness. Change your focus. When you change the way you see the world around you changes. And that is very true. Very true. You walk out your door in a bad mood and you're angry and all this, shit's gonna happen that's gonna just keep raining on your parade. Guarantee it. You're attracting that energy in. You're seeing things through that lens also. What are you guys talking about here? Okay. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Weighed down by a physical inheritance, trapped in consumption, burden of too much stuff, no higher vision. Let go of what's not needed. Constrained by various inheritances, trapped and overburdened by the items you own. Let go of what you don't need anymore. Yes, decomposition, Pisces. And there is a lot. You know, we really have to take a look at what's important. What's important? Truly. The earth itself that mothers us, that nourishes us, that gives us life, is going to keep elevating in frequency, but we take so much for granted. So much for granted. And with her raising her frequency, I don't think she's going to put up with too much more. Just trying to say that. Time to purge and donate. Yes. Ancestral attachments. That's interesting. Yes. Yes. 2 of Wands. Okay, this is a longer one. I hope you guys can see that. 2 of Wands suggests wherever you are in life, it would be advisable to gain a powerful perspective,
Standing back before the reworks of inspiration, an incredible idea seizes you and sends you flying. Review your position. Can you see the landscape ahead, the trajectory of this possibility, or does there need to be much more research before you embark on something new? There is tremendous advantage in taking the time to see and investigate the bigger picture. Understand how the topography of your life, your goals and dreams span out across time and space. The possibility is absolutely present for you to reach previously unimaginable heights with your ideas and sense of purpose. And I will say this, if your sense of purpose and your intent is to actually be of service to humanity, to the environment, to earth, to nature, it will be supported. The intention must be pure. It must be pure. And we humans do have ego attachments, you know. You have to check with yourself, what is my intention here? Is my intention to build a business and make money and make a name for myself and be successful? Because that's like the old way. It's not what we need. It's not what the planet needs. It's not what humanity needs. We've got enough of that. We've got enough entrepreneurs. We've got enough, literally, the planet's littered with people just wanting to have their own brand and their own stuff. And look what we're creating. We're creating something, we're just creating a mess that we're going to have to clean up eventually. So why not start now? That's right, Martin. Nature equals God. So let's read the, did I finish reading this? Okay, Two of Wands, gaining perspective, wait for the right moment, drafting plans, look out to the future. So let's do the King of Pentacles in reverse. Mine's to witness, learn, and I'd like to leave a legacy. Yeah, we all will be leaving some form of legacy. I am sure of it. And legacy really is just for the betterment of this entire, you know, a lot of the intergalactic beings call this Earth school an experiment. Shocker, right? It just seems like we're part of some kind of crazy, weird experiment. But deep inside, our souls know. Our souls know like what to do and why we're here. We're just right now clearing out a lot of the clutter internally and maybe externally in our lives. The people that we no longer need to be pleasing, because they're not pleased anyway, are they? Just the mentality, any egoic mentality, we've got to really get that in check. Yes, we need ego. Ego is our persona. If we didn't have ego, we'd just like, but we want healthy ego. Just be a good human. Exactly. So let's read the King of Pentacles in reverse. This book's a little weird. Okay, here it is. So you can see, I'll show you it upright so you can see. Come back down to earth, reassess your situation, and bring much needed stability to your life. Those impeccable high standards of the upright King of Pentacles have been overturned, highlighting a need to revisit your foundation, the routines of your daily life that nourish and support you, and the values that inspire you to be your best. Be a good human. Feeling trapped and unable to see a way out, revisit your foundations, nourish and support your values. And that seems pretty much in alignment with, we'll get a little deeper into this, with collective energy. Drop your burdens. It is time to get more in balance and understand what's really important here and stop looking outside of ourselves, comparing ourselves to what's going on with others. Knowing it's just really a lot of chaos right now. It truly is. Kindness goes a long way. It sure does. Finding the balance between self, ego, and source. Yes, yes. Oh, I just had another. It came in and it went out. Came in and it went out. See if anything else wants to come through. So yeah, I started talking about the reptilian energies, not to elicit any kind of fear, but just awareness. Awareness of what we have been involved in. And even us ourselves have been manipulated or infiltrated in some way, shape, or form in our past, or maybe even still currently. And just the awareness alone, as soon as you raise your vibration, get in your heart, and you're like, no more, I don't want that, because you can feel it. You can feel it when you get really pulled into that dark space or dark place. But there's something still going on in here, and it's okay. It will dissolve. But we want to be a willing participant, because it's not fun when universal forces zap you and give you a tower, shake you to your core, to bring you to your knees, to be humbled by life, to see what was still active in you. If you got to go that route, you got to go that route. I've been there. I'm sure we all have been there at some point in time. I've been there. But, oh, my cat wants to come in. Hold on a second. All right, Luna. Come on in. And I will tell you, animals are an amazing source of support right now. That's right, source is not outside of us. No. This is why we are so delicate, like our bodies and everything's sensitive, but we hold the powerful source energy inside of us. No wonder we are being hunted for our energy. And you can tell when these energies and entities are around you. You don't even have to engage. You can feel them siphoning energy from you. And that's when I'm just like, I gotta go. But I also have other ways of keeping them at bay. But they do exist. And it's important to not place blame on the people that are carrying them. It's almost like they're like parasites. Like you wouldn't punish your dog for coming inside with a ton of fleas and ticks all over it, you know? You can't really do anything with the human that's got parasites on it. But I don't know. I think that when we change our energy and we do it in a loving and compassionate way, it helps the other human, because they still have a soul, wake up and realize and recognize that, you know? Shakti, yes, I love that word. I love that word. I'm Darren, I disagree with you, but these are things that you have to experience for yourself to understand truly what I'm talking about. And I know the space that you're in, and that you're angry.
at others. And it's fine to be angry at others, but the more you stay in that energy and you play you're feeding them right now with that energy. You're feeding that energy. That energy loves controversy and conflict and getting your blood all boiled. Um, so that might be a lesson for you. I do have very close friends that have gotten pulled into certain situations like that too for years until they finally realized and recognized that they were playing in a game that they just sometimes we have to we have to learn these things our own way. We really do. Unfortunately, pets put up with us. My Luna loves me. Cats are so healing. I mean, dogs are too. I shield and call my higher self many times during the course of the day. Yeah. I'm always just asking for grace. That seems to work for me. Like, just shower me with grace. Remember that I hold the light of grace. And it goes a long way. Kindness goes a long way. Compassion goes a long way. And it is, it reverberates, it vibrates out. And it is very helpful. Very helpful. I just had a session with somebody yesterday, and it was a beautiful session. And at the end, something just prompted me to tell her that I actually could see her aura, because I'm seeing auras now, and I was like, it's this beautiful like light blue with these greens, and it's just very like when I was telling her that alone, she had tears in her eyes, like, that is the most beautiful thing that anybody ever told me, thank you so much. And I was just like, oh, you're welcome. But the impact that had on this other person, like, I was shocked that it really it hit something. So the more we can just be kind and be like, you know what, I see the beautiful light coming out of your eyes. I feel you. You know what I mean? I see your soul. Even if you're angry right now, I see your soul. I know that I know that you possess love. Goes a long way. It truly does. Hello, Sharma family. Hi, Samantha. Cats teach us boundaries and dogs teach unconditional love. That's a good way of thinking it. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm an animal lover, but I surround myself with dogs. I love all animals too. Horses, if I had space, I would love to have horses, but for me right now, I have a cat. I never got a dog. Well, I used to have dogs, but I never got a dog because I always like to travel. And I know that dogs are like, they are your faithful companion and like to leave. Like, I can leave Luna for 2 days and she's fine. She actually like go. She kind of gets mad at me when I get home. She's like, where are you? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, a little heads up. A little heads up. We got a tower here. Oh, you have a dog with a cone on. Oh. Oh, I thought you said dog with a cone on. Okay. We have a tower here. The first thing that popped out to me. So the advice here right now is to really seek balance and grounding and center yourself with the earth, because there's some strong energies working right now. Very powerful, potent, strong. I can't stress that enough. And the energies that are working with us throughout this weekend, through this new moon, energy is impactful, has a tendency to be volatile. Not for everybody, but what it does is it really does a number on whatever anxiety, fear, anger, whatever is going on in the mind is accelerated like times 100, and you just feel like everything's coming at you in all angles, and it just is trying to, it's the sensation of like everything's trying to get me right now. Oh, we're having a geomagnetic storm as well. Everything is just after me. The world is against me kind of energy. We have death below that. So that death energy is very strong. Transformation, which sometimes can be not easy, less than pleasant. But ultimately, that's the overlying energy right now. And that makes sense with Mercury and Mars and Uranus. And we can't forget about all the Plutonian energy either, which, there we go, Pluto. It's like a bubble that keeps getting more inflated and more inflated and more inflated until it pops. So I'm going to get an advice card here too, but truly is to get into your heart. Surround yourself with things that you love, loving memories, loving thoughts, self-love, compassion. And connect to others who may be able to share the energy of love and compassion with you, if possible. But the Four of Wands is very important to find that centeredness within, because we can get pulled off kilter in some of these energies. And if it happens, it happens. The Tower isn't always bad. The Tower is needed, especially for many of us humans. It's cataclysmic change. Many of us don't fully adjust, shift perspective or patterns and habits until the universe comes and pulls the rug out from under us. And sometimes those attempts happen over and over and over and over again until we finally get it. The heat gets cranked up louder and louder and louder, stronger and stronger and stronger. So let's get, okay. Okay. Oh no! You said Tower and my phone powered off. Oops, speech battery. Nice to chat with you all. I'll watch the rest on TV. Oh, everybody's battery is turning off. That's interesting. It ain't going to be the universe that does that. Well, you better hope not. No, it's always with love. It's always with love. Okay. Let's get us an advice card. That's interesting. So here's some advice for all of us. Okay. We have cracked open. That is the Tower. So cracked open. A lot of times we do have to actually hit rock bottom. Isn't it? It's the way to deal with AI. Cracked open. It says rock bottom. Surrender to the alchemy of life. You know what, the other day, and here's like, you know, my inner child or my, I have been tested and challenged with Saturn hitting my Jupiter for the last couple of weeks, and it will be very strong until the 22nd. Although I feel like I'm coming out of it, but it really put me into a big squeeze. Important for me to put things in perspective and know what's important and my intentions and where I'm going with certain things, and you know, so I understand it, but it's not easy. It's not an easy transit to experience. So I was asking the universe, I'm like, I know this is a childish question, but am I doing something? Am I missing something? Like, I understand the alchemical process and the quantum field, and what am I not seeing in me that isn't helping push this along faster? And the answer that I received was, I guess I had given up as far as my imagination and my dream. Not like intentionally. I didn't really like, I give up, I quit. It wasn't like that, but there was like the energy inside of me because I've been tired for 2 weeks and sick. And I had a death in the family. We had a lot go on. There's a lot that went down in the last week for me. But the answer was simply like, you got to get your health back, get your energy back, get excited about what you're doing again, and believe it, dream it, because I know that that's been working for me. So just to tell you guys, put it in perspective, I don't want to get woo woo or airy fairy, because that is not my mission at all. This is not an easy life is not easy. Stay curious, yes, but I didn't recognize that from having the neurovirus, the stomach virus, the death in the family, like all of these things that happened, it really took a toll on me. And I didn't realize that I just wasn't I wasn't in the game, I guess you could say. I wasn't in the game, and I was going through the motions, but emotionally, or like I wasn't fully feeling like excited about what I was doing. It wasn't like I was dreading what I was doing, but anyway, the vibration really truly matters and counts. We're going to get sick sometimes. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have deaths. We're going to get sad. We're going to get mad. We're going to have all of those things, and it's okay. Ride those waves. It gets better. Don't let it turn into some kind of force field that turns into a vacuum that sucks you into it. Because that's really what, I have a diagram here, actually, interestingly enough, while I was sick. I don't know if you guys can see that, this magnet, the two poles of desire and fear, and how polarizing desire is like a pulling in, and fear is pushing away. Anyway, I'm not finished with what I'm writing here, but it was really fascinating of the visuals I was getting with the bio psychic spiritual experiences that I have with energy. And yes, sometimes we will flatline, not literally, but energetically. Sometimes it's like the void. It was a cocoon phase for me. It still is. I'm just waking up out of it. So anyway, let's read Cracked Open. This is our advice card for tonight. Don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. Instead, let it call even more of it home.
into your body, at the center front of your life. It's through the extreme pressure of life's trials, that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith in our light, and our light is ignited.
And that's the other thing. You really have to have faith to ignite that light that lives within us, that divine spark that we all possess. You gotta trust it, truly.
It's through the crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. Be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds and in ways we could only dream were possible. But first, they have to crack us open. Sometimes it hurts like hell. It's nature's way. Whether you let it happen or not, it's going to happen, so surrender to the process. It's how the light gets in. When your heart cracks open, a space is created for your soul to more fully enter. When your soul cracks open, a space is created for the grace of the Holy Spirit to enter. Let your trials, your sorrows, your pains, and your losses transform you into more and more of yourself. Stay open to the possibility that your tragedies, your losses, your sorrows, and your hurt happened for you, not to you. Bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Surrender to the alchemy of life. And that is so true. And I understand the anger and the frustration of the process of being cracked open, and it's confusing, and it does feel like people and life and the universe is against us at times. But when you finally surrender and just allow to be cracked open, you'll see that things get much better and brighter and lighter on the other side of that. They truly do. Yeah, I think we all needed that today. For real. Mechanic motto: the bigger the problem, the bigger the hammer. Yeah. So, I mean, I know this ain't easy. It's not. But I also know the beauty and the amazing connection on the other side of being cracked open. I truly do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here saying all that I say. I don't speak out of not having the experiences myself, because I certainly have been cracked wide open more than my fair share of times. More than my fair share of times. And it's not fun, it's not pretty, but in hindsight, each and every time I can look back and say, you know what? I needed that. I needed to see the truth. I needed to see what I was engaged in. I needed to see where my mind was, where my heart was, where my energy was. Sometimes we're not fully conscious of ourselves, and that's where we're headed. We're headed to being more self-aware, our consciousness is expanding. Know thyself. It's important for this journey. And I do get excited about what's to come, because there are many more that are awakening. And we all know that the awakening journey is not pretty. And I mean, I don't know. With the frequency different now, it could go a lot smoother or faster for people. We'll see. I try to take everything moment to moment, and I really don't like to look too far ahead. Actually, I'm guided constantly not to really look very far ahead at all, unless there's something that I'm being given information or warned. I get warnings sometimes. I usually share them as well. But thank you guys all for joining me. This was nice. It was nice to connect with you guys, and
share some of the things that I don't normally talk about, but I'll start sharing more too. I don't like talking about reptilian energy, but I know that it does exist and it has had a huge impact on humanity and our consciousness and all of that. So it's nice to like kind of spread that awareness that, you know, this is what we're working with, really, truly. The wound is where the light enters. Absolutely, yes. Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you all for sharing and for being here. Sending you all out so much love. Have a great night or day or wherever it is in your neck of the woods. Take care. Bye.